road to the draft. We're gonna call it On the Clock. On the Clock with Nitty Gritty.
Our season's on the clock.
Our future's on the clock.
Our legacy is on the clock.
NFL draft, Detroit Lions, Chicago Bears, Pittsburgh Steelers. Select.
Yeah! That's the one! That's the pick!
Salute to Keith for that production. So I'm gonna kick this thing off. Depending on what we do with the first pick, whether we trade it or keep it, I'm gonna start off by keeping it. Center is a key position for us. It's been trash since Marquise Pouncey and Kendrick Green and Mason Cole. You have to get a talent like Jackson Powers Johnson. It's been terrible. It's been terrible. As you can see in the video, he's a big athletic kid with power. Got good hips, paused to get out his blocks, explode into pass
hips
protection.
Don't lie.
Jesus,
hips do not lie.
He a bulldozer, Scott.
Nah, he's legit. I said a couple shows ago, you don't usually draft centers in the first round. Marquise Pouncey and Linderbaum. It was an 8-year gap between them two.
Is he the projected first center to go?
Yeah, he's
okay.
Widely regarded as the best center in the draft. So if we do keep that pick, you might have to move up to get him. Depending how the draft board go, you never know. But sitting on your laurels at 20 for a kid like this, who, like he just said, he's a bulldozer. He can get to the second level really, really quick. Screens. We love our jet sweeps. We'll see if that continues with Arthur Smith, but you got to get somebody like this. He can change your whole offensive line. You've seen how Creed Humphrey changed life in Kansas City. When Linderbaum for y'all, like when you get that guy in the middle, it changes everything. And like I said, we haven't had it in five plus years.
Didn't he play like guard and tackle too in college? Like he played like other positions on the O-line.
Yeah. Which that makes him extra special for Tomlin because you know we love our linemen not to play just one position. We like moving them all fucking around the line. But this kid's a center. He shouldn't play nowhere else. This kid is a center, and he's a day one starter. So
I feel you, Sco. I like him because he looked like he agile. Playing at Oregon, you got to be as an offensive lineman. You see him getting down the field, making some blocks. You kind of need that athleticism at center nowadays with the way these linemen are shaped and built. Pause.
But you wouldn't. But it wouldn't be wrong. I mean, like they pick a center at 20, and he's the first center taken. He's the best center. Supposed to be the best in the draft. You can't be mad at that pick at all.
Where did y'all take Linda? He was around 20, right? Like 18?
Yeah,
20 around that. Yeah. That's you get good value at that spot. You're not taking them too high.
Those career guys. They don't. You get you a center, he should retire Steeler. Retire Raven.
Center. Give him 52. He's one of those guys. You wasted it with Kendrick Green. You can redeem it with Jackson. So that's if we keep it. That's if we keep the pick. I'll talk about that later on in the show. That's if we keep the pick and not go into camp thinking that what we have is enough. But if we do keep this pick, you definitely start there at center at 20.
Yeah, I like that, Sco. And he looked really agile, and that's something that with Arthur Smith too, I think that'd be a really good fit with his line, what he wants to do running the football and all those good things. So if you guys could get that center to shore things up in the middle of the line and just, the center is usually your offensive line leader, that'll go a long way.
Absolutely.
For what you guys are trying to establish.
And just playing devil's advocate, Sco, my only thing I would say is playing in the Pac-12, has he really been challenged? He throwing new dudes around, so that'll be something I'm curious to see. But he looked like he built to play in the AFC North.
Yeah, for sure, and hopefully got some Penei Sewell in him. Penei Sewell came into
what they say his weaknesses are, if he have any right now.
Pass blocking, and that's probably just nitpicking. Hands usage. You got to coach these rookies up anyway. That it's not anything that should deter you from not picking him in the first round or not starting him. Just coach him up. That's what y'all are paid to do. Way more strengths than weaknesses, though, with this kid.
I like it.
So now it's the Flock's turn. It's the Flock's turn. We usually go with Keys first. So Keys, first round pick, late pick.
Late pick. So this, I mean, I'm going with Nate Wiggins. I think he's a solid pick. He's a raw athlete. Run a 4.5, can play man, can play man, and can play zone. He's coming from usually, Clemson defensive players are really, really good. They're well coached. And the way I'm looking at it is, you can't bring Marlon Humphrey back at that where his cap hit is, where his number is. He's just not effective as he used to be. He's injury prone now, so I'm looking. You got to get younger at that position. Got Brandon Stevens on one side. It's a guy that come in that he breaks on the ball. He can get to the quarterback. He can blitz. He can do everything. He can play coverage. He can defend. He has great length. Pause. He can get his hands on the receipt. He can get his hands on the receivers. So it's definitely a pick. But I think with him, because he's such a great athlete, because he is so fast, I think he will have to fall. I can see him coming off the board early, especially for a cornerback needy team. So he would have to fall. But watching the film on him, and you can see in this clip, like, he's all over the field. He has the size. You want your cornerbacks to be that 6'2". I like the cornerbacks that don't have a lot of stats. They scared to throw at them. There's a reason why. I mean, they always judge cornerbacks by how many interceptions they got. And I judge them by how many times a quarterback looking to throw at them. Like, I don't want you to throw at him. And he didn't have his stats. He only had 2 picks because they didn't throw at him. They literally didn't throw at him. So he's a great athlete. I'm looking for him to drop. Like, the only way there's going to miss he drop. He might be gone off the board, but there's a lot of cornerback needy teams. I'm looking at Detroit. They might take him. If Pittsburgh don't take a center, they may take him. There's a lot of cornerback needy teams, but he's a great pick. Like I said, his weakness is he's just a raw athlete. And with athletes, they get overconfidence. They think they can make up speed or whatever. So sometimes he do get out of position. But other than that, he has all the intangibles. He can make any play. Like I said, he can play in man. His strength is playing his zone coverage. He can read the quarterback. He follows the quarterback eyes a lot. But yeah, I want the Ravens to go cornerback. And if they are going to go cornerback, I really do like Nate Wiggins.
Wouldn't be opposed to corner in the first round. Also, I'm sure as we go and this grows, we'll probably talk about offensive line in the first round too, because we got a ton of holes there. But I mean, listen, we do need somebody to take the baton from Marlon. We do need some young, athletic energy in the secondary to complement people like Stevens, to complement the Kyle Hamiltons of the world, and also just have a guy that hopefully can take and shut down one side of the field. I really like it when Marlon's in the slot. Brandon Stevens has become a very physical outside corner who has shown the ability to play well for extended stretches. And then you add somebody like Wiggins on the other side, man. I mean, it just make our pass rush that much better. And hopefully we could grow on some of those principles that Mike has left, because it seems like Zach Orr, he's going to want to blitz a lot. And he called it organized chaos. The organized part is having people in the secondary that can cover. So that'd be cool.
He back-to-back all ACC first team. So he got the accolades there. He's a player. He's definitely a player. He has the speed. 6'2", run 4.5. You can't ask for better intangibles than that right there.
The thing I like about it, I mean, you're in a division with George Pickens, Jamar Chase, if T. Higgins sticks around, Amari Cooper. So you're gonna need an athlete like that to complement Brandon Stevens, like you said. So I like him a lot. I like what I saw from him. And like you said, you coming from Clemson. One thing about Clemson defensive players outside of what was his name? Cleveland. I don't want to. I'll find out what his name was from
Cleveland Farrell.
Yeah, who went to the Raiders.
And he's turned his career around.
Yeah, he's turned it around. But outside of that, most of their first round picks produce in the NFL. So they come from good stock down there.
Outside of being
well coached down there.
Outside of being a raw talent, you said if he falls, what would be the reason to you if he does fall? Would it be tackling? I seen he had 25 tackles. That first clip that Keith showed, he was on a blitz. What would be a reason that he would fall?
I mean, it not because it wouldn't because of him. It'd be based on team need. I think what teams need. And it is I'm not gonna say it's a heavy cornerback draft, but it is some decent first round, some first round cornerbacks that should go. before him. So it'll just be based on team need. But he might be the first corner taken off the board. He could be potentially the first corner taken off the board. Iowa got a good cornerback too. That he's up there or whatever. But I think Nate is a little bit better of an athlete.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now I think I know where you going. Is he gonna have a flag behind him?
You said what? Nah. So I mean,
okay.
So listen, this isn't my first round pick. This is just somebody that I've had my eye on. I wanted to discuss. I mean, there's some Ravens fans that have been floating his name out there, and I like what I saw when I dug into the tape. I mean, listen, with our second round pick, I think we have pick number 62. I think he'd be a prime candidate to explore. I mean, this is somebody that was a four-star linebacker in high school that converted to running back. He's 6'2", 245. And as you can see, he's just a powerful runner. He's decisive. He can move the chains, short yardage. He has he's not really a change of direction type of guy, but once he sees the hole, he hits the hole. And that's kind of what you want to see with the early down runners in our system. He just understands what to do as a runner. He has good vision, as you can see. Strength and balance, that's not a question. And he has obviously a rare build for his position. I don't want to be blasphemous, but he kind of gives you Derrick Henry vibes with the sheer size of him. As far as some cons in his game, I mean, he's not the fastest, he's not the most athletic. His long speed is not the best, even though we see him chugging down the field in that play. His stop ability isn't the greatest. So he kind of projects as a early down back, and that's perfect for us right now. I've been talking about getting a 3-down running back, but in this sense where you're getting somebody this big and this powerful in early downs, and you have somebody like Keaton Mitchell who can be that kind of burst guy, that east-west guy, the person that is more explosive in the backfield, I think that'd be a really good pairing. So in this sense, I don't mind him not being a 3rd down back. And another con too, he's a willing pass blocker, but the technique isn't the greatest. I think that's something we can work on, and he obviously has the size. But pass blocking and pass catching, he's not the greatest pass catcher. Again, he can catch easy passes, but his route tree isn't the greatest. So again, he profiles as an early down runner. But with Lamar Jackson, with our system, with the RPO, I think he'd be very, very dangerous. And we're talking about somebody who could replace Gus Edwards, right? So I think he's a more athletic, younger type of Gus Edwards build, and much stronger, much bigger. And with Keaton Mitchell, I think we could be really dangerous with him.
Yeah, I like that tape. I just like what I mean. He looks like he can break a lot of tackles. I can see the vision. I can see his vision. He can definitely find a hole. He definitely pick up. Definitely second. I can see that second round pick because we gotta get strong at that position. We absolutely had to get strong at running back.
Like he built.
Yeah, he looked physical.
I mean, we were also, and many other people were talking about giving Derrick Henry a look. Come free agency, which I wouldn't mind either. I would endorse that message. It just would depend on cost. And again, like if we can get, I do like the fact that we have the ability to get some cheap, controllable, young talent in the draft. And running back might not be the way to go because we do have a lot of holes. I mean, we had got the Zeitler news today that he's going to be a free agent. We don't know what's going to happen with that. Got offensive line, cornerback, as Keys mentioned, other positions, wide receiver, who knows? So, it could be more of a luxury pick than anything. But as we saw, we need to get the running game situated in some sort of way. Because in the playoffs, we just totally abandoned the run for whatever reason that is. Gus Edwards is a free agent too. Keaton's coming off a ACL, so it's something we got to look into.
And Gus can't block. The writing on the wall there. Braylon Allen is way more athletic and looks way more explosive than Gus. Looks like he'd be a good complement to the offense. He'd be what we need, that thunder to go with the lightning that Keaton brings once he's healthy and back.
Yeah, cheaper option for the same skill set. It's a good business move.
Yeah.
For sure. We'll see how it goes. That's just one of many prospects we'll talk about. So we'll go from there.
Absolutely. Last but not least, Keith PJ.
Yeah, so I mean, I saw what y'all went with running back, cornerback. So we talked about it earlier, but wide receiver is going to be a need at some point.
Oh, I like him.
I'm a Keon Coleman fan, 6'4", 215 wide receiver out of Florida State. Let me pull up the tape.
His tape is amazing.
Yeah, I like him. He's a beast.
And he'd be that big receiver we need.
Yeah, for sure. But he finished last season with 50 receptions for 658 yards, 11 touchdowns, averaged over 13 yards a clip. What I like about him is catch radius, physical, sort of that physical receiver you need in the AFC North. You can just throw it up to him and he's going to go make a play. Basketball player, played at Michigan State before he transferred to Florida State. So you just see he's got that athletic ability to just go and get it. He's got outstanding acceleration. And like I say, just those aerial adjustments, the ability to make a catch. And that's what we really need. Just somebody, a safety blanket outside of Mark Andrews that you can just go to on the outside of the numbers to complement Zay Flowers inside. I like it a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this would be a luxury pick too, but we've seen in the NFL plenty of teams on the verge of contention or on the cusp of contention or just contenders in general. They make luxury picks to improve their chances, right? The Bengals, they probably could have went for need when they drafted Jamar Chase, but you know what they did? They went luxury, and so on and so forth. You can never have too many weapons. And honestly, this is his skill set and his build is a skill set and build that we just don't have in the receiver room. I mean, we have some talent there, don't get me wrong, but we don't have a go up and get it guy, contested catch guy, catch radius guy, a big guy. We have,
we've lacked it.
Yes, yeah. Bateman is slender and sleek, pause, and Zay Flowers is short and stout, but we don't have that big guy, that big body wide receiver, and that'd be somebody on the outside that I think would be very beneficial to Lamar on the offense too.
Yeah, I mean, respectfully, we haven't really had somebody like that since Anquan Bolton, who you can just throw it up and he's gonna go make a play. You can trust him to do that. The only weakness that I have noticed and that I've heard is his run blocking. And so when you come into a team that's we run the ball, that's going to be something that you're going to have to buy into. But that's an effort thing, technique, and you get in the right system, I think you can buy into it. From everything I've seen, I like Keon Coleman a lot, though.
Yeah, when I hear about these college players not being blockers, the first thing I'm thinking is, are they at least willing blockers? Because technique can be worked on and practiced and improved on, and then
he probably need to take a run block all season. They probably like get your ass outside.
I'm going to the NFL too.
Yeah, like, he probably run block all season, man.
But I mean, listen.
Now he don't have that take the top off the defense speed necessarily for an outside receiver, but I think that physicality and, like we've alluded to, that catch radius just it can override that.
Well,
Bateman does. And Anquan didn't either.
Yeah, Bateman does.
And Zay does.
You talking about exactly. Nick, you hit the point right on. Yeah, you hit that.
What was you saying, Scott?
I was just saying Anquan didn't, but he always seemed to get separation, and when he caught it, it was tough catching him. He was slow as hell. Anquan ran a 4.6, so he might have in-game speed, but I like that pick for y'all. It'll be a well-rounded receiving room.
Yeah, man.
For once in y'all history. Y'all slowly getting there.
I hope so.
Yeah. But like Nick said, I think that's more so a luxury pick. I think we got more pressing needs, but just a prospect that if we did decide to go luxury, just somebody that the Ravens should keep their eye on, because why not add more weapons to what you got, especially when you can get them for cheap.
Yeah, that's a fact. Cheap compared to Justin Jefferson talking about he wants guaranteed years, and the Vikings are saying, nah, we don't want to pay you past the first year guaranteed. We want to treat you like a quarterback. Like, wait, hold up. When I become a quarterback? When did we start doing that?
I understand why teams see their superstars like that, man. Like, pay that man. He deserves every penny that he's asking for, man. Like, stop.
It's crazy. When I look like Kirk Cousins.
Exactly. And then you want to come back to play with whoever, because like I said, Kirk Cousins might not be there. So you want to come back and play whatever, and you talking about, like, stop it. Like, they stop it.
This Rashad Bateman 4th year too, right? He going into.
Yep.
So I mean, the Ravens got a decision to make too coming up at the end of this year. If you're gonna pick up the 5th year option, so
we got
maybe
a
you get
5th-year
ahead of it
option.
if you're
That's
not
on him.
feeling
It ain't
comfortable
on the
in that
Ravens. That's on
direction.
him. That's on how he performed.
I think y'all know the answer to that.
But that's what I'm saying. Keon Coleman, why not?
If he performed well this year, and you know they if he performs well, I can see him pick it up. But if he have the same production, of course, you can't pick it up. It'd be impossible because I just think he is too consistent. Like I think Nick was saying, he's just too inconsistent. He has the talent. He has he can do it. It's just he's just way too inconsistent with it. Way too inconsistent.
Yeah, I think that decision is this offseason decision as far as the 5th year option, which it kind of tells you either trust that he'll be healthy, he'll come in and be the number 2 wide receiver, and he'll have a good year, and then in the 5th year you'll get him at a discount as far as compared to the market, or you take that risk of him having a career year and then becoming a free agent. So it can go either ways, but I think that decision is coming up. The same with
well, they make it after the 4th year, don't they? Or no, they make it now. Yeah, I think they do make it now.
It's like we talk about EDC a lot, but you can't keep on not letting your first round picks. You draft your first round picks. They should be on. They should get a second contract from the team that drafted them. So so you let another first round pick. That's on you. I mean, obviously you saw what you saw in the draft or whatever. He didn't develop to what he was going to develop, but yeah, that's setting your team back when your first round picks is not getting their second contract with the team.
Yeah, and picking up that 5th year option would cost us $13.78 million too. So you got to take that into account.
Yeah, and then you look at the landscape. The Christian Kirks make $19-20 million a year. The top tier wide receivers in the $28 to $32 million range. So you're talking about $13 million if he settles in and starts to have the seasons we expect him to have. That becomes a bargain at that point.
Yeah,
but of course it's a flip side, because if you exercise it and then he disappoints again, you aren't getting the bang for your buck at that point. So just got to trust in your draft process, trust in the talent, and also trust in the process. Because, I mean, we've had a lot of late bloomers. Patrick Queen didn't kind of turn up to his 4th year. I guess the hope is with Olway. He's PFF says he's been going like this. The eye test says it's kind of been like this. I don't know, but
PFF I'm almost eye test. Yeah, boy. I don't know why PFF started valuing the almost at, but they hold that shit in high regard over there.
We love us almost at.
Yeah,
please believe.
Especially him. Yeah, especially him.
We'll clap.
Y'all did